Okay, alright. Back this last part. When you're about to show you a little bit about the last part of the autumn spelling. Just China taking it section by section. Kabasmachka that were it won't be too hard. So the vowels are first. After that was the consonants all the way to L, and then from there is the consonants from M all the way to Y. And in the autumn alphabet, the way that it's written, we don't have like certain letters that in English you would have like the X or the R. Um, we don't have those, so don't look for them. But we have extra letters. They're called diacritics, and they're just added to uh, a letter to make it sound different. So there's different kind of sound. Okay, so Edom diacritics, like I said, is kind of like you it's the difficult part. Like it's written in autumn, and they say like, well, there's these little things that I don't know how to read that. Well, I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm gonna show you how to read that, and that way it'll be easier for you to, to pick up and go my. It's not real hard. It just takes practice. It's like everything else that you learned how to do. I know that people first learn how to drive. They're very afraid of it, and make a lot of mistakes, and that's fine. But if you really want to know how to drive, you just keep doing it, and you'll find out eventually. So this is the same thing for this autumn. How to read. Now again, I'm telling you this. You can read it, but doesn't make you. It doesn't mean you're gonna start talking. You're not gonna go out and start conversating, because all you're doing is just reading. Conversation's a whole different thing. Okay, so this first diacritical mark, when you buy again little, and we already talked about this, the retro D and the retro S. The retro D, when you have a D, you say D. When you have a retro D with the D with the dot under, you say T. And S, you have a sound when you just have a regular S. But when you have a dot under the S, it's a sh, sh. Okay, so there's that. And then also the N, on top of the N, there's a little, what they call the Spanish N. There's a little, like a little wave on top. And you say Spanish N, whatever. It's called a tilde. So that's another one of those that when you put it on top of the N, it makes it sound nya. So you have n, and then you have nya. And then with the N with the tail, that's ng, ng. So there's three different N's. Okay, again, because the diacritical mark now. Then we get to the words. How do you find that out? So this first diacritical mark is called a glottal stop. Glottal stop. Okay, now in English they call it an apostrophe. But we call it a glottal stop in our autumn. And it's like this little apostrophe right up here, and that's how you say it, glottal stop. So that little apostrophe, and it goes between words, between letters and stuff. So you're gonna see like in the word autumn, you say autumn. You have the O, and then you have a little like apostrophe and another O. That makes the little stop. That's why it's called a glottal stop. So you're gonna find it between the vowels. So it's a sound, just goes all the way through. So if you do the word autumn, you write O apostrophe or glottal stop O, and then another O. So it's autumn. It's not them. It's autumn. So there's a word here I wrote. Let's see. This is a famous autumn word. This is called this. When you write it like this, you say odd, odd, odd. It doesn't mean nothing. But when you take this, and you put a little apostrophe right there, now the word becomes odd. Odd. You see it? It's no longer odd. It's odd. Now this one right here, this word, I. It means when you're walking and you reach something, like you're walking and I. I am there. I am. Somebody's walking ahead and you're following them and you reach out to them and you say, I am. I am. But you put this little diacritical mark there, this little apostrophe. Now the word changes. Now it's the word ai. Ai. Again, the vowel sound and then e. So it's ai. So that's how that word is changed. And again, just by using that glottal stop. This one right here, this word is nyok. Nyok. See the N with the little thing over it? It's a nya, e, o, k. Nyok. Nyok. Okay? So we take this little thing and we put a little mark right there between it, between the I and the O. Now it becomes nyok. 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 You see, so that one little mark changes the whole word. So nyok is just to talk. Nyok is somebody's speech or the way that they talk, the way that they sound. So that's what that is, that nyok. Now, the next diacritical mark that I'm going to talk to you about is what they call a breve. Breve. And the breve is this little, like a rocker. A lot of kids call it the rocker or the half moon or the upside down moon. So when they put it over the I, you see, this is supposed to be an I. So there's an I, but there's a dot. There's no dot. It's that little rocker thing right there. So that's called a breve. It changes the sound of the I. So what does an I sound like in autumn? E. It sounds like E. E. So like sha'i. You know, you're going to put that I on the end. Sha'i. Sha'i. But when you put the breve on it, it changes the sound. So here is a word again, like I said. This is what is it? Chiwag. Chiwag with just the regular G. But when you put this part, an I, with a breve over it like that, now you have chiwak. That's the way you're supposed to say it. Chiwak. So even right here, some people with their dialect, they'll say ninyok. Ninyok. That's that. So if you don't put the little rocker there, it's going to be nioki. Nioki. And then there's this word, chiwak. If you don't put the little rocker there, then the sound is going to be, or the word is going to be chiwagi. Chiwagi, which means it's starting to get cloudy. So again, that is the sound, chiwak. And that's just the autumn sound. We use it on words like suwak, suwak, or what's another word? Studak, studak, or chu, chu. You hear that? That's that autumn sound. Sometimes people just sound like that in autumn. You know, grandma's gonna say, "Baby, autumn, you know, like that." So it's just kind of like autumn anyway. I mean, most of the older people. So here is wook, like I said, wook. I put an I like that with the dot over it. That's woogie, woogie. Something's getting red. Okay, but when I turn that dot into a breve, then it's wook, wook, wook. Okay, so now the next one is like in English what they call a dash. So this third one right here, the dash, you see it? Dash. If you want to be technical, a lot of kids, you know, in my age, this stuff they start saying, oh, a hyphen. That's what they're talking about. It's just a dash. It's just a dash, but they want to be like show you that I know more than you do. So they're gonna say a hyphen. So that hyphen is just a dash. It connects the stuff to, you know, like other stuff. Like here, this one here. If I put a dash here, if I put an S and then a dash, then this is where you get swuk. So wook is the root of the word red. Suuk means it is red. So a lot of the colors. Stuk is really the root word is stuk or chuhuka, which means dark. It doesn't mean black. Stuk doesn't mean black. It means darker or dark. Stukat, the sun went down. Stukat. So it's not black. It's just darker. So that's how they say, like in autumn when something is darker. So wuke is lighter. But again, the dash. So if I say nyok, 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 that means to talk. If I take the S and a hyphen, put it right there, it means that's the word sniok, sniok, sniok. There are a lot of words that have an S and then an H, and if I put an S and then an H, you're gonna say shh, 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 but we don't have that sound in autumn, so you put that thing like that. So it's an S hyphen H. So that is in words like sahait, sahait, or so what else? Another word like so SH is like if you put an S and then a hyphen and then H is like sukim, sukim. I really want to eat something. Tracy Sukim. We need to erase this stuff right here on my dry erase board, and then because we'll get to the last part. This is kind of like the harder part. Okay, these two dots. Okay, when you read other orthography, sometimes they'll put another A or another H or something to put. This is where the thing is complicated for people. Okay, the last one is this colon. That's what this is called. The two dots over each other is called the colon. Okay, you see that? Two dots, colon. So look at that. Colon elongates a word. It makes it longer. Okay, so when you have a word or a sound and it's usually behind a vowel, you can make that vowel longer. Okay, so I'm gonna write right here the word let me see this one. Okay, then I'll write this one here. So these are just the same thing, like it, but it just adds on that part. Okay, so this word right here, what is it? Read it. Eek, eek, heek, heek. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. Heek, heek. It's a heek. What's a heek? A lot of people don't know. A lot of autumn that don't speak autumn don't know. What's a heek? A heek is your belly button. Your belly button. Your little, your innie or your outie right there on your stomach. Okay, your heek, the little hole. Most everybody has a hole once in a while. You have somebody with an outie. Almost everybody has like an innie. Okay. Always wonder, like people say, "What's that for?" I tell little babies when it's, "What's that for?" And they'll say, like, "Oh," but a little hole in there. But I'll tell you what got put it there. That they put it there because when you're watching TV and you're eating celery in bed, celery. You get salt and you put it in there, in that belly, and you can just like, and then dip it in the belly button, the salt, and then you can add some more. I put some pepper in there too, try to eat it. That's what that belly button's for. Anyway, so that's the heek, the belly button. Now, this word right here, with the two dots behind the I. See, this one doesn't have the two dots, but this one has the two dots. So you elongate this vowel, okay? So it's the same letters except this is. So this one is heek, This one is going to be heek. Heek. That means to cut. Or you might say, man, I need a haircut. So heek. Somebody cutting, Heek. Cut the hair. Heek and heek. Just because that two little dots is there, it's a different meaning. But at the same time, it's the same meaning. Like, heek is your belly button. Well, when you were first born and you had your umbilical cord and the doctor came and batwam heek, right there, and you made your heek. 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 You see? Another word that I use a lot when I explain this stuff is the word, let me see. This is a word that a lot of people don't know about, but I'm going to use the retro S just to practice for you guys. The retro S, so you can see what that sounds like, okay? Now, here is another word. What is this word? Okay, sound it out. Gosh. 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 That's the word. Gosh. Now what is a gosh? Nope, you got it wrong. What is a gosh? Got it wrong again. What is a gosh? Gosh. You're saying the other one. A gosh is a nest. A bird's nest. Gosh, our campus over there called Wisha Gosh. There's a Hawan Gosh over there too. Hawan Gosh, Gosh. That's a nest. Bird's nest. Okay. Now we're gonna take this and we're gonna add the little dots right here. The same sound. Gosh. But we're gonna elongate that O right there. Elongate it. So now it's not gosh anymore, it's gosh. Gosh. Because the two dots are right there. Gosh. So gosh and gosh, just because of the two dots. Gosh and gosh. Gosh and gosh. And if you look at it this way, they kind of mean the same thing. We call it, what I call it, primordial sound. It's that old sound, because the sound is different. It makes a different word, but you can put them together. Like gosh is the bird's nest, but where does the bird sleep? In the nest. So gosh and gosh, you see. Okay, one more example right here, just to have you like, okay. So this is another word, and we're going to use this one as an example. And see, so here is whack. Whack. What is a whack? No, not that one. Whack is a hole in the ground. The whack, Tasco, get a shovel and you dig a hole, or don't go that way. Go swap, go whack. They're gonna fall in. Whack, whack. That's what that is. Okay, whack. Okay, then you put the two little dots behind the A. Again, you're elongating that sound. So this is not whack, it's whack. Whack. Which means to go inside of or go into something. Okay, Santa Vera over there, all those sinkholes. Whack. Okay, so again, whack is a hole, and whack is kind of like the dirt or the ground going inside of the earth to make that hole. You see, they all match. You see, so that's what that is. Now, there's a lot of sounds like that, and to introduce, as we start to get more into the idiom, we're going to start out with some of the simple words, and then we're going to get into, like some of the more complicated. So the next lesson, we're going to do I'll do some words and then explain how they sound and what's the difference, and then we're going to take that test that I told you about, and you're all going to get an F. Okay, but there's a word that I want to show you that's kind of difficult here, that everybody pronounces. Well, not everybody, but most people, because it uses all those things. It uses a lot of those well, two of those diacritics, and people don't say it right. Okay, so I call over there to the housing association, what we call housing. They changed it, and somebody picks up the phone. Hello, Kiki, Kiki, Kiki. And what's this? Kiki, what's a Kiki? Oh, you mean Kiki? She left. She went to Tucson. Yeah, she'll be back. That's Kiki. But that's not how you say that word. Okay, so it's written like this: K-I colon K retro. I with a brief. So sound it out. K-E. You see that I right there? You have to put that in there. So when you say in a house, you say, or a building, you say ki. And when they say there's a lot of houses, then you say ki, ki. I went over the hill and I saw all those cells. There's a lot of ki. That's what that word is supposed to be. Ki, not kiki. Again, ki. You have to elongate that. So if this thing wasn't here, it would be kick. But it's there. It's two dots. And if this wasn't there, if it's a regular I, then it would still be ki. But I think for a while there, it was hard to put that sign over on the spelling. But now they have different apps and stuff that you can use to put that spelling on there. So, but if you look at the sign, it says ki. It's not kiki. So again, that's how you say houses in autumn. Skikik. If you go to the community and then, or if you pass through and you say, where did you go to this? Well, let me see where Santa Cruz. Yeah, I went over there, but I didn't know where it was. I couldn't see it. I just saw them on the Skik. Oh, that's where it was, right there by Pisimo. You go that way. Oh, okay. Skik. That's how you pluralize. Ki, and then when you have two or more, ki. So that's what it says. And again, it's the writing part that people don't understand how to read. So now you know how to read and write, and so that should help you. So again, this next one we're going to be doing a little bit of I'm going to write some words, and then I'll tell you how those are said, or how you read those, and kind of like the difference. So if you want to, there's a few people that do, but you want to email me at camillus@azci.net and tell me how do you write this word in autumn, but don't say like Valentine's Day, because I'm not gonna, but just say like did I write this right, and then you try to write it, and then I'll laugh at you, but eventually I'll correct it. Okay, so I wanted to do that for Hermich, and then we'll go on again. Okay, don't worry, I'll go calm, get confused and all that stuff.